Hey guys, welcome everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know if you can hear me very well and see me and see everything. So just give me a quick answer if everyone can see me and hear me well. So yeah, I'm happy to be here with you guys together with you, and I am going to share some of the stocks which I'm watching. We're going to talk about technical analysis about the current market situation. So I'm happy to be here with you. Let me know if you have, of course, any questions, any stocks you would like to discuss. I will be definitely glad to share my thoughts with you about those stocks in the current market. So let's start right away with ES, which is the S&P 500 index. This is also the futures what I'm looking at here. And let me know also if you can see my screen well. I think it should be good. So what we see here is, first of all, today we had some news, and that was the non-farm payroll news. Those were not very good, which could be actually bullish for the market because this is the data what Fed is looking at, and they're making also some of their decisions about tapering based on the jobs. So for now, we had bad news, which could be interpreted as bullish for the market. So we're keeping close eye on the markets. For me, the current market situation is a little bit confusing, guys. This is not a time where you should go all into the market. It's a little bit tricky to trade right now. You have to be careful. You have to use stop losses. You have to use good risk management in order to be able to sustain as a trader. Hamid is here. Nice to see you here. Thank you so much for joining. So that's basically what it is. We see a downtrend. We held here on ES pretty well support as we see. So this was the 4,274. Nice reversal candle of this support and nice bounce. So for now, we're still holding this support area. So if you look back, let me open up my my pen here and disable that. So if you look back here, you see this was the previous resistance area. So first of all, it was resistance, broke out, then broke down for a while. It acted as a support area. You see that here. And it finally broke out of this range here with this nice bull run. And now what we see is a small pullback, and we're still holding this 4,379 area. So by the way, guys, I'm still long here, so I have a long position. My stop is here just below. Of course, we don't know if this is going to work out or not. Basically, we have to see. But as long as you use good risk management and don't have too many positions, all should be fine. So my plan is to, to close this trade around 4,479, which is this resistance here. So we see this was the previous high. This is a resistance area here. And again, my stop loss is below this support, which is still holding for now. Ronnie, nice to see you here. Yeah, it is very crazy market on this Friday. I definitely agree with you. It's wild, but this is based on the current news and on the current situation. So again, if you have too many long positions, it can be difficult because we have a lot of volatility, we have a lot of upside down moves, and it can be difficult to sustain and to go through that. So again, I'm still bullish overall, but what you need to do here is just be very careful when it comes to stop losses, when it comes to using the right risk management techniques and so forth. So ES, bullish. I'm looking forward for this to continue higher. If we break below here and start to be more selling pressure, we might test those previous lows, which is the 4,274. So that's my thought on S&P 500. Now let's go ahead and see NASDAQ. NASDAQ has been actually a very nice trade. I had here a position around those levels and stop was below. It made a nice bounce, but today we see a little bit of a weakness as well. So let's go ahead and check this on the daily chart first. So daily chart, it looks like a small downtrend here, this recent part. Nice pullback, which I took. And this is our previous breakdown area. And those are, by the way, the EMAs 50 and 20 and 9, and if we close with this reversal candle like this and red even for today, we might continue lower. So this looks actually weak so far, and I've been looking also for a long here, but for some reason I like a little bit better the ES, which is S&P 500 compared to Nasdaq. Nasdaq is just very weakening. It is. I made some decent profits yesterday on this, but for now it's just too weak for me to long it again. If we hold those levels, very similar situation like ES. So we have here our support levels. This was previous resistance. After it breaks out of this zone, it becomes support. So as long as we hold 14,774, this is a good long setup. But if we start closing below and start pressing lower and more sellers take over, then you should be definitely aware of that we might see another leg down and test of 14,430, which is the previous low. Again, it's a little bit mixed because of Fed, because of the current of the current non-farm payrolls. You just have a lot of things going on, and it's a little bit tricky based on the debt sailing and all this kind of stuff, what we're reading in the news. So this can be a little bit tricky to trade. That's why I'm a little bit careful, and my approach here is having long positions. I have some decent setups, I have some decent stocks, but my approach is to be much more aggressive when it comes to risk management, which means instead of just sitting there and holding the positions and hoping they're going to go back and to all-time highs, I'm just much more aggressive with my stop losses, which means I'm trailing the stop. As soon as I'm in profit, moving them to a break even and trailing them higher. And the good thing is, if I get stopped out and the stock, for example, continues to go higher without me, I don't really care, because I can always re-enter back, or I can find another setup, another opportunity. So key here is to be patient and be more aggressive. Nice to see you, Herbert and Joseph. Nice to see you here too. Ronnie is asking BBBY is looking interesting. Okay, let's check this out. So that's my thought. Again, YM looks very similar. The only difference with YM here, which is Dow Jones, is that we are very close to resistance, and that's why I like the most for my long ES. Let's check out your BBBY. Okay, that's the 4-hour chart. I'm gonna go on the daily chart. This doesn't look very good for a bottom. You're waiting for a bottom. The thing is, there is probably a reason why this stock is going like this. It looks actually pretty weak to me. So look, it's breaking down, holding below, gap down. So this could be probably bad earnings. We're going to check in a second. And then made a low here. It's very oversold, which means, of course, it could bounce based on this oversold area. But again, if it's going down, gapping down, downtrending, there is a reason for this. And if there are too many sellers in this stock, you don't want to jump right away into that. So just be careful with this. I'm going to open up here the fundies for you, and we're gonna see what do we have. Again, I use that as a quick, this is just for me as a quick check. I'm not gonna go in detail, but I think as a quick check, you can always check this out here on chartmill.com, BBY, and Bed Bath and Beyond. So retail stores, I think most of you know probably this stock. Now, if you click here on the fundamental analysis, we see negative profitability ratios. So again, they are just not making money. This is not a good sign. Valuation, it looks like it's cheap. Maybe that's why. And they have some decent growth. Earnings per share is grown by 129% over the past year. In the upcoming 5 years, it will grow by 41%. They have some decent growth, but negative profitability. Another thing what you can check, by the way, here, guys, is if you go on Yahoo Finance, let me open this up, and then you can check as well real quick the fundamentals. It doesn't have to be some fancy analysis or something like that, you can go here on financials, and then you see here the current income statement, net income, earnings per share. You see this EBITDA here. It's not, they're not they don't have good fundies here. What I can say, Ronnie, if you're someone who really wants to take advantage of this oversold area, it could be a good idea. So I can agree here if we see a little bit more of a buying buying interest. So for example, if we go here above 1575 for a quick bounce into this 20 or so, those are $5. So that would be $5 per share. That would be a not bad setup. Just be careful or keep in mind that there's a reason always when a stock is trending down, there is a reason for this. And normally, it could continue lower. It doesn't mean that only because it's now oversold, it will bounce. That's not it's not a very nice growth stock with huge potential. So keep this in mind. Okay, what else do you have, guys? Do you have some other stocks or something what you are watching and you want me to check for you, or do you want me to go through my stocks? I have also some stocks. I really like VSBGF OTC stock. Okay, let's check this out. VSBGF. Why do you like this, Chris? Do you have a position? Do they have some catalyst or something, or how did you come across this? This looks on the first side actually not bad. It's uptrending. Personally, I don't like trading OTC stocks because they're very unpredictable. But what you see here is a nice uptrend. So if you are already in this stock and holding, that's a good thing. If you're not in this, I would personally wait this out for a pullback because it already made this move to the upside here, and it's good positions, a lot of catalysts coming up. That's good. And well, sometimes you can have nice runs with those OTCs. The point here is just be aware of where you are on the chart. So for example, this thing made already a nice move to the upside. So of course it can continue higher, but you always want to enter on a pullback, maybe around support area, and then go from there. Because if you enter here at this point, where do you want to put your stop loss? So if you enter, let's say here at $1, your stop should be at the previous low technically, which is a huge stop. So I would prefer to see it pulling back a little bit and then looking for an entry on a pullback. Very good. So what else do you have? Do you have something else, guys? Any other stocks what you're looking at, or some other questions? I'm gonna go ahead and see here some of my stocks, and we can discuss some. So I like, for example, Crowd, but again the overall market is pulling back, so we need to wait this out until it stops and settles down a little bit and maybe look for a setup. So this has been a decent move here. I would like to see it stopping, holding for a little bit longer and reclaiming those EMAs. So this is actually a very nice uptrending chart, still holding very well above the 200 moving, very ugly drawing, above the 200 moving average. So this looks good. If it reclaims here back again, this might be a good looking setup. It's a little bit more expensive, $250 stock, but something worth to watch. I had a while ago HBP. Let's check this, what happened with this one. Yeah, this looks still decent. So HBP is a little bit cheaper for some of you who like cheaper stocks. That could be interesting. This had a nice move here, pullback, another breakout, and I've been watching it now for some times, and it is still holding very well the 5 area, consolidating for a while. So I would like to see on this one, of course, reclaiming above this 550 and breaking out. If this happens, that would be a great thing. The only negative point here, what I have is that they have earnings. So you see here with earnings, I am a little bit careful because I don't know what are they going to release. And even if we do know, sometimes you just have sometimes unexpected gaps. You don't know how the investors are going to react. So this is like 50-50 to me. That's why I prefer to stay away out of the positions right before earnings. So they have earnings soon. Other than this, I like it. It is a very nice cheap stock, which has also some growth potential. That's why I'm looking at it. Earnings are on the 29th of October. TUI I have, but I want to increase position. I can see a bit more pullback. Okay, let's check this out. I don't have this here. What is the ticker? TUI. I don't have it here. Unfortunately, I don't have this. So this again, this HBP is not a bad looking stock. Other than this, I have a couple of other stocks which I'm still looking, but they are based on the overall market situation, just very volatile. I have Adobe. I bought Adobe a while ago. We discussed this, I think, even last week. So I've been waiting actually to stop, and it is right at the 200 EMA. So I really like this 200 moving average because it is oversold. It's a solid stock and company, and it made a nice move. But look, now it is trying to, now it's trying to stop here and pull back based on the overall market. So my plan on this is to put my stop around break even, and if I get stopped out on this, it's fine. I don't mind. Then I'm out for break even, not losing anything. I'm securing my trade. Like I mentioned at the beginning, that's the only way how I would try this current volatility and price action. Yeah, so that's my trade on Adobe. Other than this, I have a couple of other stocks. Let's check them out. One stock which I really like, unfortunately, I closed it today for break even, was Yeti. This one is very nice looking chart, very similar to what we had. So nice pullback here, oversold area below 30 RSI, above the 200 moving average, nice reversal candle, it gapped. Unfortunately, right now it is pulling back. So this is not a good sign. And that's why I closed for break even. And this is one lesson for you guys. Why should you close if you see something like that? No, well, first of all, I have here very good risk to reward setup. And yes, it can go here, but again, based on the overall volatility on the markets and based on this reversal candle, and based on after that this red candle, which is just a continuation here of the previous green candle, that's not a good sign. So for me, this is just a indication that sellers are stepping in. So I decided to close it, break even, get out of the stock. And if I see that it closes today, for example, a little bit stronger and it's holding here the 200 moving average, I might re-enter back in. But I just don't want to be in a situation if the overall market starts to pull back and go down. I don't want to go down with all of my positions. So that's how you can manage the volatility if you are swing trading. And it's important because, again, other than this, you can just give back a lot of your profits for nothing. Apple. Okay, let's check out Apple. I have an Apple long-term position, by the way. So I want to hold this one long-term. And let me see. Let's see the chart. Yeah, Apple is still good based on the chart. So this is for me a solid company, growth company as well. Nothing wrong if you decide to join this. I think on the long run is also a good investment. What you see here is this bigger trend. So the big one, you see, we're already here into the 100 36.60. So this is our support area. Same thing, you have here the 200 moving average, which acts as a support. So this is something you should pay attention to. And again, right now it is pulling back a little bit, but it could continue higher. So I like this. It is still holding here. Only concern is they have earnings, so you don't know, of course, how the earnings are going to be. But I think for long-term trade or even for an investment, you don't really need to know very frequently what's happening with the earnings. So if you're planning to hold for the next 2 to 3 years, you cannot just get in and out based on the earnings. So yeah, I like this. Apple is definitely a good, strong company, strong stock. I don't on Apple, if I'm looking for a pullback, well, it pulled back already. So let's check this out. Let me remove this. So it pulled back already. This is our pullback here, and you have a couple of options to or possibilities to trade that. So you either the best entry would have been here, but if you're not into that, I still think this is a good area. The only thing is you need to use your stop loss somewhere here if you're shorter term trading it. I don't know what's your plan. So you can either long term trade it where you're holding for some longer period of time, like couple of months to a year. You can use it as an investing. So if you're using it as an investing, you can hold couple of years. I think that's definitely a stock which I personally have in my portfolio. I'm long. If you are looking for a quicker, shorter or middle term trade, I would personally, if you enter here, I think this is still a good spot. You could enter here and put the stop below, or what I would do is wait for a little bit lower pullback, 141 maybe, and then go from there. So as long as it holds this 136, which is acting now as support, you can enter anywhere in between as long as it holds that. So definitely a stock to watch and trade. MU, let's check out MU. Yeah, absolutely long. I agree. This is definitely a long for me too. Apple is a solid company. One of the companies what you cannot do anything wrong are Apple, Nvidia, AMD, all those tech stocks, Facebook as well. I like those. Those are always good for a long and always good for also longer term trades. So not only shorter term, you can hold them. MU. Yeah, MU, I don't know if we discussed that. Let me remove my drawings here. The thing what annoys me with this stock is that it's just going nowhere. And I'm going to explain some things for you guys here, why this could be not a good idea. So the problem with MU or with stocks like this is, look, it broke out, but then it went here, pulled back, and since then, this is since actually May. So since May, June, July, August, September, so 6 months, it's going nowhere. It's trying to downtrend, but it's not really downtrending because it's still, for some reason, holding here 70. I think we had a downgrade here, broke down. Now it's holding. So this is kind of sideways for 6 months. Again, if you're holding 6 months, this stock, if you're in this, for example, you're just locking in the capital for a stock which is going nowhere. Now, there's always a difference if you are either swing trading it, mid to long-term trading, or even investing. So for investing, of course, you can hold. I think that's a solid company. But if you're trying to make money on the regular basis or in swing trade and pay your bills, you need something what is moving faster here. And unfortunately, this stock is sitting here and doing nowhere. So you can put your money somewhere else, in something more volatile for a swing trade. For a longer term, different story. Again, you can hold. But for a shorter term swing trade, I don't like it. It's just going sideways, going nowhere. This can continue for a while, and then you just sit there and your money is going nowhere with this. So that's the problem what I would personally have with stock like MU. Let me see what else I have on my watch list. We can discuss this too, guys. So I discussed Yeti. Then I have Docs and DLO. This is, by the way, an IPO, which I like, DLO. Nice breakout, nice gap up here. What does that mean if the stock gaps up like this? So first of all, it's an IPO. It gapped up very nice here, which means positive earnings or at least positive reaction to the earnings. And then it's pulling back, filled the gap here, made a very nice here bullish candlestick formation, and it's trying to continue higher. So for me, this stock has some decent potential to the upside. Very nice pullback here. I think still this is a good entry, and a lot of potential for upside move based on the IPO, based on the growth expectations. So I like this one. You can put it, guys, on watch. You can watch those and come back and see what happened. What else do you have? Let me know if you have something else, guys. Other than that, I see here Duck is with me on the stream. Duck, I'm gonna add you here right now to the stream. Okay, I'm adding you to the stream. Maybe you have some more ideas.
I have no ideas.
I know.
Am I on?
Yes, you're on. I was just hoping you come up with some more.
You hope I got lucky and got some ideas? No, I don't have. I don't know why you would think I would.
Well, because you're.
How is everybody? What have you guys been talking about up to this point?
Some boring stocks.
Like DATS, DATS. Have you seen this DATS? Something going on over here with this?
Let's see. For
you cheapy stock players, DATS.
Oh yeah, that's good. I like this.
Look at this, huh?
Yeah,
little pump going on. I don't know what's going on here or what this is about, but
yeah, this is
interesting.
So
yeah.
If someone is trading this, guys, make sure you understand the risks. Let's check the fundies on this.
Does this even have fundies?
We're going to find out. Okay, is it not let me see. Yeah, that chat. Okay, fundamentals, profitability. Well, look at this, huh? Negative
Is
profitability.
It good or, oh, shocking, no. Huh?
That's not good. Negative profitability, negative earnings for the last year, but it has
It's got a 1. Yes, a number 1. Bad. Oh boy.
It is bad, but I'm thinking maybe based on the pump, people are pumping it, and based on the current hype, it might work out. I would be a little bit careful with stuff like that because you just don't know. But I like it. Yeah, it's not bad actually here for a momentum, riskier, more speculative trade. Are you long in this one?
No, I was thinking about shorting it. That's what I was thinking about. I was not going to long that. But I do have some cheapies that you can fundy check that I mentioned the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready? Because I know one of them is not ready, but boy, I tell you, if it can pull back.
But wait a second. Why do you want to short this thing? This is like a long on the daily chart.
What?
That's
because it's a pump. It's just going to dump like it has. I don't want to do it like right now. I'm just looking at it. I think like a day trade. It'll fade back to 9. But I don't want to buy this right now. Unless something else, unless you can convince me that this is a great company with a bright future that's worth investing in.
Unfortunately,
otherwise I view it as like a fuel cell or one of those types of companies, right?
Let's see here on Yahoo Finance. What else do we find? I don't like it for based on the fundies, of course. I mean, look at this.
I mean, it was 1850. It's like 50% haircut on this thing in a few days. I
Haircut.
don't even know what this is. What is it? What is dat chat? What is this? Help me out, guys. What is this?
Let me see. I'm gonna tell you. Summary. Okay. Communication software company develops mobile messaging application. You can download the app, by the way. The company offers that chat messenger and private social network, a mobile application that gives users the ability to communicate with privacy. So that chat. Yeah, see, he's pumping it. Ronnie says Zach Morris is pumping it. So if you want to
Yeah,
buy
that's
a
what I'm
pump,
saying. It's just a pump. I don't think this holds up, but I don't know. It got a squeeze. It looks like a squeeze out of nowhere because there isn't anything really behind it. I don't know
yeah,
if anybody's into that kind of
Ronnie,
stuff. I
Ronnie
don't.
is saying in pre-market, the microcap blockchain, cybersecurity, and social media company has sold off 30% on Tuesday in sympathy with Say. Yeah, so again, if you're trading this stuff, just be careful what you're getting yourself into. I think it is a pump. I showed you the fundies, black on white. You cannot fake those. That's what it is. That's the bitter reality. If you want
The
to
bitter
speculate,
reality.
yeah. If you want to speculate based
Bitter
on the pump,
reality.
what?
The bitter reality.
Yes. It
Okay.
went from 18, the pullback was from 18 to 7. So
Yes, that's pretty substantial. Okay. Now
pullback.
I have another one. I have another one that should fulfill this audience with hope, with an uncovered gem, right?
Yes.
Is everyone listening? This is the kind that the people will crave for, and I need you to give me your pro fundy analysis to set us free. It's not
Okay.
ready right now because I think it's too high. AEHR. This does not stop. Look at this thing. AEH. Is anybody
I
in
see.
AEHR?
You should buy it. I think you should buy it right here at the top.
I should have bought it yesterday and the day before. Look at this thing, guys.
Yeah. Yes, I know. This was actually a pump starting here. I don't know what happened
Yeah,
after
and
that.
it's only had a few bright spots for shorting. The rest of this has just been a grind. I know it's up a lot here. I mean, yeah, it was a $4 stock in July, but it hasn't given anything back, right? It hasn't really given much of that back. It continues to grind up. So the thing
Okay.
is, does this turn out to be something special, like a Roku, like a Peloton that was once laying in this price range that went on to greater things, even Nvidia? Or does this go the way of Fubo and Vuzi and that other stuff that was just a flash in the pan and it'll scream to $40 and then die? What do you think?
We're gonna see. So let's see what the company is doing. Test Systems engages in the design, manufacture, and marketing of test and burn-in products of the semiconductor. Semiconductor is hot industry, by the way. Headquartered in Fremont, California, and okay, so that's actually not bad. Good sector. Fundies. Oh, look at this. You see red, isn't it?
Is there too much red? There's no fundies.
Negative profitability ratio.
Wait a minute. It has a 0 and DATS has a 1. I
I
don't see
know.
any green on there. Is there any green at all?
I know it's not bad. It's not good. So this is why I'm having problem with buying this stuff, and I'm looking always at a quick check at the fundies, guys, because if I see something like that and the stock goes up, yes, it can change. Of course, they can be the next hot stock, and they can start all of a sudden making money, and all this can change. But again, when I see this crap, how should I feel good about buying this? Why should I? I'm rather going to put my money in Nvidia or AMD or other semiconductor or whatever, or even other industry, than trying to hope here. So what is it? A negative profitability ratio, return on assets -9%.
They got an upgrade. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look at you rambling on about this thing.
Very expensively valued. So here it is, the positive part, growth. 25% over the past year. Well, I have seen better growth on other companies. Based on the estimates for the next 5 years, will show very strong growth in earnings per share. It will grow by 35%. I have seen better stocks than this.
So, what is your? So is that a yes or a no? What are we
That's
doing?
a no. No,
No.
I
Okay.
just.
All right.
I mean, if you are if you think you I don't, if you if you
Has any other trashy company with zero in valuation turned out to do really well? Has there been one of those?
for sure they are. I mean, of
Yeah,
course,
like all of them.
all those stocks
Like
and
all of them.
companies, they start somewhere and they are not right away profitable. Of course,
Like
they are some.
Chipotle.
What?
Chipotle.
Yeah,
Chipotle
for
once
example.
before.
Yeah, for
Okay.
example. I'm not saying this might not turn out to be a good one in the future and all of a sudden start making profits. Is definitely a good industry, but and good sector to buy. But it's just, I don't know why is this. This was based on a pump, as far as I remember, and I just don't know. Cannot understand the reason why this thing went from 2 to 19. And just show you maybe we're missing something here, but it doesn't have good fundies for this.
Okay. Now, the next one. ISEE.
Where are you coming up with this trash?
I am, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm throwing darts. I thought I would catch everyone with some fresh stuff.
This is a very similar situation. I
Because
don't
these
know this.
things are former penny stocks that were popular amongst penny stock shorters. But these are the ones that aren't working. Like first you have like your CEI and your DATs that are like mega pumps, you know? And then you have like just your one day, like what is it? Neuro, SPRT, right? Verb. You have that trash that's just like one big pump day and down it goes.
Yes.
This thing has been constantly grinding up and now it's like not even on anyone's list. They won't even touch it. So usually when that happens, that could be the beginning of something different. Like even though you have your fundies and all that stuff, why is this one bucking the trend? Why is it getting upgraded? What's the deal here? And both of these have not, these are longer term stretches. Like these have been running for months upon months. And even back in February, when all these micro caps were running really hard, it was just February. It's like January and February, and then they were done. I don't know. I'm looking, is this the next $100 runner, the one that goes to $100? Because remember, Roku, I mentioned, was once $20 stock, remember? Nvidia was $14 stock. It was the same thing. Nvidia was $14
Of
at one
course.
time.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Facebook
again.
was $19. I mean, these were teenager stocks, so I don't know.
Of
I'm not
course, they
comparing it
are
to
all
Facebook.
starting somewhere. I
Yes.
agree with you. They are
You have to
all
give the little
starting.
guy a chance.
Uh, they're all starting somewhere. You don't have those where they start right away being profitable. So I do agree with this, but I just don't like this. Let's see the fundies on this one. You were asking me for the fundies, right?
I am asking for fundies. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for fundies. I'm not going to listen to those fundies. I will ignore them. I just want to hear what you have to say for the sake of hearing what you have to say.
Okay, here is something. I think you should
Okay.
buy. You should buy this stock right away. Put a buy stop at 25. So operates as a so this is a biotech company.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know you're not trading biotech,
Oh my
so
goodness.
that's
That's
why
scary.
I just
Oh geez.
fundamentals. Profitability ratios are negative, return on assets minus 65%, valuation. So everything is negative. The only positive bright spot here on what I see here on Chartmill is that the earnings per share has grown by 14% over the past year. That's the only bright spot on this biotech company.
If you don't have any earnings and if you make zero and then you make $1, you've doubled your earnings, right? You've grown by 100%. So
Yes.
I guess it's, once you've hit the floor, there isn't really any place lower to go.
So do you want to explain our viewers why you don't like biotech? Because we're joking about biotech, but maybe not, that's not clear for everyone. And here you see, by the way, on Yahoo Finance, guys, income statement. You can see the revenue of the company, you can see the expenses, net income. You see that it's negative, it's getting worse and worse. Actually, 2018 it was positive, then 2019 negative. 2020 minus 84%, and now minus 107. So it's getting worse than better. Yeah, this is just very dangerous. So why you don't like biotech companies?
Must I go there on a day like today? How about I start out with being smoked and barbecued on biotechs when I first started? Well, here's a couple of reasons. Number one, there isn't any better place to pump a stock than a biotech, right?
Yes.
It's so easy to suck people in because it just sounds good. Oh, you're in stage 1 approval of a revolutionary drug for Down syndrome or for blindness of somewhat or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then when you really look behind the surface, you have to understand biotech, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, placebo tests and all that stuff. It's like, that's just really speculative. Like that's just one piece of a really large puzzle, but people buy into that. And that's why a lot of times it never even makes it. And then you have to think about what is the market for this kind of drug and who else is the competitor inside of that market? Like, is there enough people with those diseases? And I think we all see that isn't they're always trying to create diseases for us so we can end up taking pills for it, right? So like they're making up diseases or they're creating a market that may or may not exist. And then it's so far away. And most of these drug companies don't make a dime anyway. They have such a heavy burn rate where they're spending money. So that's like cheap stocks. That's why you see that stuff. Who was this here? I mean, it's like, I don't know, is it this like these therapeutic companies? Like today, this RSLS, Reshape Life Sciences, Zeni, XENE, Xenon Pharmaceuticals. You see a lot of these types. That's one. You should be probably shorting those cheaper ones because most of that's just a scam to obviously get the stock to go higher so the company can do secondary or private placement offerings once the stock goes up so they have money to operate on. The other thing is those drugs are actually very speculative. Why I don't is because of somebody called Elan Pharmaceuticals, which I had traded once and it was doing very good. I can't even remember now. I'm so traumatized, but it was like diabetes drug or something. This was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I buy this thing and the drug killed somebody. One of the tests, somebody dies and the thing just, I think it was like $35, $40 and it opens up at $5. Like the next morning, I was like, you never even had any time to get out of that. You never saw it coming. And I'm like, I will never trade another biotech again.
Yeah, I
That's it. I'm done.
understand
I will
that.
only short this trash, And I mean, I think you even see that now, right? Like, think about this. You have this COVID vaccine and you have all these companies that make it. And granted, Myrna's done really well, but there are other companies that are performing better. Like, think about this. There's all of these companies that created, well, this is speculative, a life-saving vaccine. Okay, we'll take that for what it's worth. That can be obviously challenged. Okay. Nonetheless, a vaccine that's being shoved down everyone's throat that they're making someone take that's billion. I mean, this is a product that's worth trillions of dollars that's reshaping humanity that everybody in the world is going to have to buy, right?
Yeah.
So their market cap is less than GameStop, who's bankrupt, right? So it's like I don't even know where to go with this. It's like the kind of world we're living in. Or AMC, right? Like AMC has gone up more this year. There's like hundreds of other stocks with zero earnings, no back history, terrible business models, and then you got one that's supposedly quote unquote life-saving vaccine. And I don't know.
Yes, I
It's a
understand.
tough
I agree
industry
with
to
you.
be in. It's a very, and it's, you're always that one threat away when it comes to biotech. It's almost like a Chinese stock. You're that one step away from one headline that just ends your day, and you got to be aware
Yeah,
of that.
it's
So
true. I don't
that would
like
be
trading
my.
those two. I haven't been smoked, but based on me seeing that you have been smoked, I
I've been
just
barbecued on biotechs.
I
The
just
only
don't
time I've
want
ever
to
made
do.
any money is shorting biotechs. That's like that's been the one.
Yeah.
You know.
Melody, nice to see you here. Melody
Yes,
says,
Melody.
Doug asked me to inquire about Hive, HIVE.
I
Uh,
don't even remember that.
this Hive, I don't know. I don't know what you want to do with this Melody. I personally don't really like it. It's just downtrending. Look at it. And then it found support here. Now it's sideways. This is just a typical stock where you're just sitting there and bounding your capital in a going nowhere phase cycle. I would personally not do it based on this. I don't know if you want to long term hold it. We can check the fundies real quick. But based on the chart, it's just going down. Now it's trying to hold and going sideways. So it's just basically going nowhere since, what is it, May here. So if you're trying to scalp it, of course, that's a different story, or just trying to day trade this. If you go on the lower, because I know you're day trading it. If you go on the lower time frame, you can do here and there some trades and buy the support areas. But if you are looking for a swing trade, I don't really like the price action on the chart. Let's check the fundies. Hive. You know this stock, Duck? Hive?
I forget about this.
H.
I don't even remember.
She's probably joking.
She could be. Oh yes, is because it's was it block? You're picking on me over
Yeah,
the blockchain thing. Is that
blockchain.
what it is? You're picking
But
on
it's
me over the
not bad though.
blockchain.
Look, compared to the other trash stocks, this we have here on the screen on chart mill green. First time I see here a lot of green on the chart mill screen. So that's
Wow,
not
look at it. It's got 7. It's a
yeah.
7. I'm here. I've been giving you guys ones and zeros. Melody gave you a 7. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, she's joking, but it's not bad, Melody. Look, return on assets 23%, one of the best in the industry. Valuation is not bad; it's cheaper than the industry peers, and growth is also not bad. This earnings per share has been growing by 1,300%, and expected to grow by 67% on average. So you don't see this a lot, where you have decent growth and valuation. Normally, if you have a growth company, you just have very extremely high valuation. In this case, it looks not bad. Blockchain sector, of course, it depends on a lot on the cryptocurrencies, but other than this, it's actually here not bad on the first side. So fundies are not bad. Chart is just, it's not the best thing what you want to see here. I don't know, do you have a position? Are you long? Jay Marty is asking about oil. Let's check out oil. I've been watching oil.
Oh, we're getting in
So
oil now. All right. We're going commodities here. This is sweet. When do we get on Euro GBP?
we can do this too if you want.
No, let's not. Let's not. Not today.
Okay, so oil is actually still bullish to me, and there are a couple of reasons. Melody is long on this. Yeah, if you have a risk management, Melody, as you know what you're doing, I think already. I mean, this should be fine. Should be doable. This is Hive. I mean, here is the 200 EMA. As long as it stays here above 250, it should be fine. Let's go back to oil. So oil for me it's long because of the overall inflation first of all. Then we have this overall demand. The block we have currently also a lot of countries are reopening, so I do think this might continue higher. Personally, I don't trade a lot oil. I have a couple of accounts where sometimes I might trade it, but for me this might be the continuation. So if I go back here on the weekly chart, we broke resistance and we are continuing higher. So this is the weekly oil chart. You see very strong uptrend. So I do think for J Marte, I do think this might continue higher. Just be careful because it already made the move. Look, it already made this move. It tried to reject here with this red candle. Actually, it was back here, this resistance, but then it continued here and made a nice breakout. So just be careful. It made a nice move. I do think it might continue, but I would personally wait for a pullback for an entry. And yeah, it can go to 100. I do agree with that. So that's my thought.
Good thoughts. Have you seen this Take-Two Interactive? I don't have no idea what happened here. Take-Two Interactive.
What's
Look
the
at the daily
ticker?
chart. Look at that.
What is the ticker?
TTWO.
That tells me something actually. TTWO. Oh wow, this is a huge.
Look at the bounce on that, huh?
Huge move to the upside. Yeah, wow. I don't know this. Josephine, nice to see you here. CMPS and J Martin is asking about oil XLE. Okay, let's check those out. CMPS. CMPS looks
commodities here.
Chart-wise on CMPS, I don't like it, Josephine. It is just very sideways. Same thing on what we discussed on Hive, on MU. If you have this kind of a price action here and you're looking for a swing trade, you're just basically locking in capital, and this is going nowhere because you don't have a lot of volatility. It's been ranging between 29 to 30, 35 here for some longer period of time since August. Actually, even back here, you just don't see a lot of volatility. And actually, it is downtrending. So if you look back here, this chart is not a huge downtrend, but it shows to the downside. So I don't see a reason for me to buy it. If you're looking for a longer term trade, I don't know if that's your plan maybe with the stock, but for longer term, we can check this here, CMPS. And let's check this out and see. CMPS Investment Holding Company, headquartered in. Okay, let me check. Let me check the fund is CMPS profitability minus 18%, one of the best in the industry. Valuation is a little bit overvalued. Growth, small growth and earnings. I don't see why do you like this, Josephine? Is it for a longer term trade? Maybe you can just let me know what's your thought on this. I don't really like this. I don't see a lot of growth here and the chart looks not very good. So let me know what's your thought. XLE, you can use for oil the futures, so which is CL here, or you can use micro futures. So if you have small account, guys, you can always trade those micro futures. Those are good for small accounts. Just be aware that we can trade them good, and they have leverage, and you can also do some losses, of course, based on this. So you can use this, or you can use the ETF XLE. XLE, very similar to the chart what I showed you with CL. Breakout here right at resistance, and it might continue. So for me, I'm bullish on oil overall. I just want to see a pullback here and maybe then looking for re-entry. We have based on the reopenings, based on the overall supply chain problems based on on a lot of fundamental factors all over the globe, I think this might continue higher. So you can use either XLE or the futures. You're welcome.
Let's talk coal. Arch coal, Ryan. Let's get some arch coal. Coal's making a comeback.
Yeah, so what else do you have, Doug? Do you have something else?
Why are you putting so much pressure on me?
Because you're supposed to come up with ideas.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see any tickers
All right.
here.
All
Our
right,
viewers
let's
are
do it.
quiet. Guys,
Is
bring
it
up
time?
some
Let's
tickers.
go to some powerhouses that need no fundy checks.
Okay.
Facebook.
Yeah, this is Brian.
I almost said F book. I'm sorry, guys. That's because that's what I normally cut. Facebook. Do we see a bounce out of this turd? Oh yeah, Vince. APPS. That's a beast. And
Yes, I like
automation.
Facebook. Facebook is a long-term hold. Guys, Facebook, again, this is for me a long-term hold. Long-term investment, actually, too. It is a solid company, a lot of growth. You don't see so much pullback on this stock, and this is rare. We are above the 200 moving average here. Yes, we have some red candles, but that's not a lot. That's actually a great buy opportunity. The problem is we have earnings, but again, what should they? They're not gonna go broke, So for me, this is a long-term hold. I like Facebook. APPS, yeah. J Mart is saying same thing on Facebook. Let's see APPS. Do you have APPS position, Doc?
I don't. I know you brought it up. We did have it at one time, but not anymore. I like it. I like that one, and I like the AutoNation that you brought up. AN. It's actually pulled back a little bit. Might be a chance to re-enter this thing.
Okay, so let's check real quick here. APPS. I think you bought it here. You got lucky.
I did get lucky. Most of the times I get lucky. That's my whole life has been based on luck. I have zero skill at anything. I'm skillless. I just trip into things consistently, I guess.
I think that was luck here.
It was luck, of course.
So I really like this. This was a good idea here. That was luck, but it was, it was good. So after that, what happened? Nice, actually held here pretty well. And again, guys, this is one of my setups which I've been discussing also in my course, also on my free stuff. What I have, by the way, let me show you real quick. You can find here a lot of free stuff what I have for you. If you click on sylviabarrock.com free courses, I have a free trading kit here for you guys. You can download this or not download, just register. I have here a part of my Barrock Accelerator trading course. I have reopening stocks and crypto technical analysis. So if you want to know all of this stuff, and also I have a bonus short educational videos for you. So feel free to check this out. I think that will definitely make you a better trader. And you can check this out on my website here. And one of the setups, what I wanted to share with you is what I've been discussing actually in all of those, is when we have a nice bounce into resistance, but then we are holding for some longer period of time, some support area. This happens mostly on the US indices, but it happened here too. Made a nice breakout, and this is actually a very decent small uptrend here what we have. Again, we're right at resistance, so I would prefer, if I'm looking for a long, to pull back somewhere here and then maybe look for a long. It has earnings. This is a very volatile stock. I traded it. I ate a couple of losses on this as well, so just be careful with this one. What's the name of the platform? This platform is Think or Swim from TD Ameritrade. I'm using this only as a platform. I use different brokers. This is a great platform, by the way, guys. If you are looking for a free platform, they are offering, if you have an account, you're getting the free platform with free data. So definitely worth to check this out. MSTR. Okay, let's see. Ryan is bringing the hot stock, MSTR.
Yes. Giving us the winners.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks not bad. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not too bad. No, not bad at all. I know I lacked a little enthusiasm there, but yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
Are you short or what?
No, I don't have a position in this. No.
Okay. Yes, it is right at resistance though, same thing. So again, if you're, I don't know, Ryan, if you're in this already, if you are not in this stock, I would prefer to see a little bit of a pullback, 604.
If I'm looking at the right one, I don't think Ryan is in this. It's a
Oh,
$700 stock.
yeah, I was just realizing, shit, that's a $700 stock.
That is $695 higher per share than his normal trade that he takes. $699 higher than the stocks he normally trades. I don't think he has this one.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is expensive.
Well, we'll have to put our money together to get a share of this.
Yeah, let me type in here, think or swim, no problem. Think or swim. I'm gonna type it here in, okay? From TD Ameritrade. Okay. Tesla. What do you think about Tesla, huh?
We should block that ticker. You'll get nothing from us in Tesla that the world won't give you.
Did you
I
eat
mean,
the losses on this,
just
or
gonna
why
walk
are you
away.
so
No, I
negative?
haven't traded that thing in so long. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bullish.
You know what? This stock is actually trading slowly up. You know, well, everyone forgot about this. I don't know. It was hyped, and then, you know, I've been actually saying this is a short here. Everyone laughed at me. It dumped. Then after that, people somehow forgot about this, and now it's slowly uptrending. Look, slowly, quietly.
Yes. People do laugh at you on occasion.
Yeah.
So don't take offense to that. It had nothing to do with Tesla. It was just you they were laughing at.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's a difference. It wasn't the stock. It was you.
So this thing went from, actually, since May, guys, 540 to 786. And here's something what I want to mention here. This is important lesson. Something what I want to mention. Sometimes we are trying to find a lot of different tickers, trying to find the best moving stock out there. But imagine you focus on 2 to 3 stocks or instruments, whatever, and you put just some decent size. I'm not talking you're trading 5 shares, you know, just a little bit more size, and you're holding. So if you held this stock since May until now, 6 months, look what a nice gain you would have made. Or even if you are, even let's say, okay, you don't want to hold because you're concerned, then you're just selling into the strength, buying the dips at support, buying the dips, selling at resistance, and look what a nice already profit you would have made. So something what I want to mention here, and unfortunately a lot of people are focused on the next big winner, the next big player. You can just pick something like Nvidia or Tesla or Facebook and just trade those. You know, you don't always have to come up with fancy shit, isn't it?
Yeah, fancy shit you don't need. I'll agree. That's our lesson for today. Watch the fancy shit.
No, don't watch it. Focus on less.
Don't watch the fancy shit. Don't watch it.
short Tesla 2-3 times a week money maker. Yeah, I agree. If you can do the opposite too. You don't have to buy it. If you can short the resistance, it's been working actually pretty good. So yeah.
All right, last one from me.
Okay, last one.
Deck. D
Oh yeah.
E C K. Deck.
Yeah, I traded it actually very profitable.
It bounced yesterday, but now it gave it all back.
I know all of the stocks are giving back today.
I know
So let me
Ryan
ask.
wants Peloton. After this, what day in the world will Peloton become a stock again? Because this thing blows, Ryan. Peloton. Poopaton. That's terrible.
Let me ask you a question now. What is your current approach right now? Because I discussed my approaches. I have some longs, and personally, I'm just doing much more aggressive risk management here, moving stops faster, using trailing stops, trying to lock in profits faster because I don't want to give back everything what I have made. So you have to be careful in this market. And as we see, all this stuff is just pulling back. That's why I'm using all those trailing stops, and I am gonna get stopped out on a lot of those, which means I will either have to re-enter or that was a good decision. What is your current approach and thought on the market? Do you think we're gonna see a more pullback here?
No. No.
You don't think so?
No. It would be nice. I do hope I'm wrong, but no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so because, I don't know if you discussed this. I mean, it's been around for a while. We've discussed this between ourselves that there's always doom and gloom in the market. It's been that way since I've been here. Out of 2 decades of doing this, you've had maybe 5 corrections in excess of 20% and a couple at 30%, right? So you only get maybe 5 of those over 2 decades. So looking for crashes of epic proportions just isn't something. I mean, we're still talking about the 1929, right? Is that when it was 1929, the great whatever the crash back then? That's how many there isn't. So it hardly ever does that. On average, you get maybe a 10% pullback every 3 years in the market. So even that is a rarity. And when this recent pullback, what is it? Was it 8% at the height? I don't think you're going to get much more than that. I really don't think you're going to get much more than that. I would expect volatility because what happens during these brief corrections is the market is undecisive. But I think you're only going to end up making new all-time highs. Let me pull up the chart. Let's see. I think if you don't get under, you have to be trading underneath of 4280s on the futures to even think about that right now. 4280, there's the chart, guys. And since 2011, if we go back since the financial crisis, there hasn't been a correction that's lasted longer than 3 months.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah.
it just, look, it ain't going to happen. And if it does correct, it's going to be over before the month finishes because this market is in a whole different realm now than what it was. You can see even with this chart, back in the old days, these corrections lasted for a couple of years. It just isn't that way anymore.
Yeah, I
So
agree with you. Unfortunately, I have this chart open because I had this discussion with another traders today. And this is what happens. You see, every time we saw this 29% pullback, even 2000 or 2008, 50% pullback. You had after this 8.8 years straight up 384%. We had last year almost, what did we have, like 35% correction in COVID. This is only the first year after a huge correction. So this means we have another couple of years to go. Of course, I don't know. Yes, Ryan is talking about tapering. Yes, tapering can change stuff, but based on the current data, what we have with the jobs, I don't think they're going to start taper this year, first of all. And the only thing what concerns me is with the debt, with this debt ceiling, which they've been discussing. But again, as long as they are they don't start tapering and continue to print money, this is for me bullish. And again, we still have a couple of years to go here with this bullishness. We might see a little bit of correction, maybe like 10-15%, but I think this will be another great buy opportunity.
I do too. There are some things that you have to look at. We're entering a new world. Maybe it's like this employment report. How do you go forward in this world when unemployment isn't really a true reflection of anything, since there are so many jobs available? What's the difference if there's high unemployment? That just means nobody wants them, right? Everybody's already working, or everybody's already become, like, this is the age of the entrepreneur. So think about, how will the market react if 20 to 30% of the workforce ends up starting their own businesses because of COVID,
Could
and they
be.
don't want to go through that again? Then we're all living like the medieval times where we're just selling product to each other back and forth and bartering, right? Because
Yeah.
you go back then, you only had like one blacksmith, one ironsmith, one baker, right? In a village. And that's the way it is. And because of COVID, people are moving out of bigger cities and they're getting back into the suburbs and into the villages of the world, because now you can work remotely. So if we think about going forward, you have to look at 2022 being a horrible year for commercial real estate,
Yeah.
because who's going to want to go back to an office? It's almost been 2 years. Nobody's going to go back. There's so many ways for side hustles now. You can start a YouTube channel, Instagram influencer, Etsy business, an Amazon store. So everybody has a side hustle, and they're being paid unemployment that's probably close to what they were getting for a shitty job. I don't know how
Yeah, I
that's going
agree.
to,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to think is, what are we all going to do when we're entrepreneurs?
Ronnie is
I don't know.
saying everyone is watching Sylvia and making money. I hope so. I do hope so. But guys, really, if you're not in the trading business, you can come up with anything, any kind of business. That is the time for online business now. It doesn't matter if you wanna. You can also use, you can make an online business and trade. You don't have to do only one thing. And I think that's the great time to start a business. First of all, everything is online. You can start sell a physical product. You can, whatever you have. Some of you are very into software or IT, information technology. If you have some programming skills, you can make your online course and sell your skills. You have, every one of us has assets. And I think what we can do here is thinking a little bit more like entrepreneurs, and try to, first of all, to teach other people our skills. What is a great opportunity for an online business? Or you can sell a digital product, or we can do a combination also with trading. So a lot of opportunities, and yeah, definitely should be using those opportunities in our advantage nowadays, isn't it?
That's where we are. That'll be something more interesting than anything else. I mean, certainly there'll be another correction again. But back to that, when you look at the corrections, like you look at here, you had 2020, 35%, 2018, 20%. Then you got to go all the way back to who knows when before you've reached that, right? So
Yeah.
it's like not even since the financial crisis. So since the financial crisis, you have only 2 times has this market corrected 20%.
Yeah, I
And
see the
one of them
clear.
was an
Yeah.
apocalyptic event where we all thought we were going to die. We laugh about it all
Yeah.
the time. It's like you need an epic life-changing event to get the market to go down 20%. Just think about it. Look at the rest of them were single digits. And you
Absolutely.
only
That's why
have
I'm
on
saying.
that
Yeah.
chart, you've got 1, 2, 3, like 6 that were in excess of 10%. And that's in what, 12 years here? Uh,
Yeah.
It just ain't going to happen, guys. Call it algos, call it Fed manipulation, call it what you want. But the only reason I'm bringing it up, and granted, there will be a correction again. Every 5 years, you're probably going to get a 30%er. But I don't think they're going to last for decades. I don't think we go into lost decades. I don't think we get into that. It's a whole new world that's running different systems than it was in the 70s and 80s. But you could wait your whole life for this crash, and you can choose to spend your life in the doom and gloom camp, thinking this whole things are going to collapse, and you're going to miss the greatest rallies of all time. You're going to
Oh
miss
yeah.
the best opportunities of all time.
You
And the
know.
market is rigged to go up. Why is it rigged? Because the whole world has their money in the United States market. You know, governments across the world put pension plan money, put their bond money, put their tax money in United States stocks and bonds. It ain't going down. If it went down,
Yeah.
nobody would put their money in it, right? That's all. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I'm reading here some comments. Yes, container ships is next issue. Yeah, we always have issues, and that will continue. Again, guys, it's a great opportunity. I think also, a lot of people are starting into these freelance businesses as well. Because if you think about it, stuff like Fiverr or all those bigger platforms for freelancers. If you have a skill, for example, if you're a good graphic designer or you have some programming skills, you can do projects, get paid much more than if you're employed for a company. So again, this is a great time for online businesses, and that's why I think it's we have the situation with the jobs currently. Okay.
That's our world.
We are out of time. We extended it a little bit, but it was a nice conversation. Thank you guys for joining. It was definitely a pleasure to me to exchange here our views and on the market and also some stocks. Ryan is saying people are getting rich by buying Mara and Hot Wheel. That's good. We have also on the stock market a lot of opportunities. So thanks for joining. And Doug, thank you so much for joining too. And everyone else.
Thank you.
We will be back next Friday, same time, noon. We will be back here. And for our members, I will do next Friday also a private meeting as we do sometimes. So feel free to join here and there. And I'm looking forward to next week. And looking forward to talk to you. Thank you.